Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout in your home using the equipment that you've got just laying around your home. If you don't have any, bands work really great for a lot of these things. You can use soup cans, milk jugs, lots of things. If you do have a band though, we're going to do a lat pull from a higher area pulling straight down, which we've done in the past. We're going to use some dumbbells, or if soup cans or water bottles, whatever you've got. If you do have ankle weights, go ahead and grab them. You don't need them. You can definitely do them without, but we might as well use them if you have them. And a medicine ball, or you can just use one dumbbell for the exercise that we're going to do. And I think that's it for the exercises in the equipment. So make sure you come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. Do 5 to 10 minutes of cardio, maybe walk around the block or up and down your stairs a few times. Get your heart rate up a little bit, get your muscles warmed up, your blood vessels opened and ready to move. All right, grab all of your equipment and come back ready to move. So we're going to do a lat pull seated. So if you do have a really high ceilings or high place you can wrap a band around, you can sit on a ball, you can sit on a chair, you can even kneel like on one leg and do these. I'm going to sit on the ground. I don't have anything very tall in here, but I can loop it around my door and then pull down from there. So we're going to do a lat pull. Your lats, your latissimus dorsi, are your really big muscles here in your back that work when you pull your arm down like this. So we're also going to think about squeezing your shoulder blades down and together. Now, start with your shoulders down away from your ears. We're sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to alternate your arms today. So we're going to pull one arm and then the other. So I want you to be pulling down from, the higher position, not leaning back and turning this into a row. Okay, so I really want to focus on your lats today, those large muscles in your back. This will also get a little bit of your rhomboids, which is between your shoulder blades, and your biceps, of course. When you pull down and then your arm comes back up, don't let your shoulder come up by your ears. You want to keep them down. Nice and slowly, both directions. Make sure you keep breathing nice and evenly. If you found that you don't have a band that's very strong, you can double up. You can put a couple bands together. The other thing is you can do more. The more you do, the more those muscles are going to start to tire out and get really, they're going to work harder the more you do. I think that was 10. Okay, good. That is a alternating lat pull. Now we're going to do sit to stand. So find a good sturdy chair or bench or coffee table or something. I'd just rather that you not do this from like a sofa because that can be really hard, but a kitchen chair works perfectly for this exercise. So if you have knee pain, and you have a hard time getting up and down, stagger your feet just a little bit. You can do it either way. You can kind of play with it, see what feels better. Also, I'm going to challenge you not to use your hands. Now, I know not all of you need your hands, but some of you will. So if you can stand up and sit back down without using your hands, I'm also going to add a little bit of extra. So we're going to use this ball. This is a pretty light ball. You can challenge yourself and use a heavier one. You can use one dumbbell, but I just want you to hang on to one thing here. This would be another great use for like a jug of water. So nice and slowly. You don't want to plop when you go to sit back down, but we're standing up and sitting back down, nice and controlled, using those big muscles in your legs. The reason I like sit to stand so much is because they're like the perfect squat. You can't help but do a really good form with your sit to stands. Okay, I don't know how many we've done, but I'm gonna call that 10. It was probably more like 12 or 13, I'm not sure. Okay. Sit to stands. Now we're going to lower down to the floor and do fire hydrants. So this is a great hip stabilizer. You're going to be on your hands and knees. refresh my screen here. On your hands and knees, you want your hands directly below your shoulders and your knees directly below your hips. So you don't want to be out like this. Nice flat back, head in line with your spine, so not down here, not looking up. And you want to try to maintain that flat back. So we're going to do out to the side like this. You're going to lift your knee out to the side. Now, I'm really trying and focusing on maintaining a flat back. So we don't want to go out like this. It's unnecessary and it can cause hip pain if you are dealing with that. So it's a pretty small motion, small movement, and it really isolates those glutes. So this is a great hip stabilizer. Eight, 10, good. Now we're going to switch and do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that flat back. Really focus on maintaining flat, stable back and core. Nice and small range of motion here. All right, good. You can sit back into a child's pose if you need to stretch out those glutes. All right, let's see. Okay, now we're going to stand up and grab those dumbbells that I talked about. So we're going to do bicep curls, and we're going to add a little balance. So you pick up those weights using good form. We're going to stand on one leg if you can. So I want you to go slowly both directions with that biceps curl. And if you can, just stand on that one leg, keeping your hips stable and in line. We don't want to hitch up on one side like this. And we also don't want to start to come out to the side like that. So maintaining nice and steady, level hips, level shoulders. If you have a really hard time with this, make it a tandem stance instead. So you can put one foot in front of the other. And if that feels like too much, stagger your feet. So there's a lot of different ways to break this down, but narrowing that base of support and challenging your balance so that we're working more than just your biceps here. Then you're working your toes, your feet, your ankles, all the way up your leg, and it's a really great hip stabilizer as well. And then also your core has to be called into action in order to hold you stable. Okay, so make sure when you go on to the next one, when you do the second set through, stand on your other leg or put your other foot in front. You know, make sure you're mixing it up. Okay, now we're gonna lower down to the floor and do a side plank. Okay, so if you remember with side planks, I'm gonna have you can start on your elbow or you can do your hand. It's up to you. Either way, make sure your hand is directly below your shoulder or your elbow is directly below your shoulder so that it's not putting strain on that joint. Okay, I'm gonna be on my elbow. In order to start with this, you wanna stack your hips, stack your shoulders, and the easiest way to start is to come up like this, one knee down, but we want a straight line all the way here. So my knees are over top of each other, my hips are stacked, my shoulders are stacked. I don't want to be leaning forward like this. Try to keep them all stacked. Keep working on whatever works for you here. The next level would be up here, putting your top foot in front. So that's a little bit easier. And then of course, if you get tired, you can put that knee down. Keep holding it wherever you are. I'm just going to keep giving suggestions. The other way you can do it is stack your feet too. So we're stacking everything. Everything just stays in a perfect line. And then if you do get tired, you can put that front foot out. You can put that bottom knee down. Lots of different ways to level this up and down. Let's switch sides. So whatever you did on the other side, let's try it on this side. Challenge yourself. So this is quite hard. This is a really hard exercise. So if you start here, start with your feet stacked. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. You don't have to hold it for the entire 30 seconds if you're struggling with it. So if you're doing this one, it's okay. You can move one foot in front. If you need a little bit more stability, whatever level here is challenging you at least a little. If you can put one knee down if you're really struggling. I'd rather have you put one knee down than only do 5 seconds at that other level. But you can level up, level down. Okay, good. So whatever level challenges you, try to hold that for at least 10 seconds. And then if you're struggling too much, go down a level. If you're in that full-on plank and you can do 30 seconds and it's not too much of a challenge, challenge yourself and do a little more. Try 35, try 45. Okay, the last one we're going to do is leg lifts. So on your back, this is the one that you can use ankle weights if you feel like you need a little more challenge. This one, I'll show you without ankle weights. This is the range of motion right here. So you really want to, when you go onto your back and you put your knees up, you want to think about flattening it back to the mat, engaging that core. It's a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. Up and down, right in this range of motion. So we're up to your knee and then not quite setting it down. Nice and slowly. So if you've done these in the past and you're ready to level up a little, if you don't have ankle weights, it's fine. Actually, this is a good challenging exercise and you can make it more challenging by just slowing it down. Oops, I put that on backwards. No, I didn't. You can challenge it yourself more by just, slowing down and doing more. Or, holding it at the top and doing some pulses is another way to level that up, especially if you don't have ankle weights and you want to try a little bit harder. These are hard to have ready to go. Okay, so whatever you're doing, if you've got ankle weights and you're going, go ahead and start. You don't have to wait for me to put all these on. All right, so nice and slowly. You still want to keep that controlled momentum. You don't want to build momentum, so you want to keep that controlled speed. Now, if you start to do the ankle weights and you start to feel a little pain in your hip, I'm going to switch sides now because I talked for so long. So if you were doing them, you don't have to keep doing them forever. If you start to feel any pain in your hip, or if this is just too much, I'd rather have you take the ankle weights off and do a few more and do them a little more slowly. So, but if you do have ankle weights and you want to use them and you're ready to challenge this a little more, then let's break them out. Use them. 3 more. 10. Okay, great. Okay, so now repeat this 1 to 2 more times through. Add a little cardio in between. If you want to try to make it a fuller workout, then you can make it, I think it will probably take you around an hour by the time you also stretch at the end. So you're doing your warm-up, doing these through 2 to 3 times at between. Please, as always, let me know if you have any questions or need any extra instruction or ideas for things, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.